A major shakeup could be brewing in Berea, and Browns fans, you're going to want to know every second of it. There's a massive trade rumor swirling around the NFL that directly involves our own Cleveland Browns. We're talking about a potential move that could redefine the entire wide receiver room for years to come. So hit that like button now and come with me as I tell you all about it. Imagine putting two of the league's most electrifying receivers, Jeudy and Chris Olave, on the same field, dressed in maroon and orange. Yes, Chris Olave, the same Olave who lit up Ohio State, the same Olave the Saints took in the first round just a few years ago. Now here's the kicker. This isn't some baseless chatter from random social media threads. This comes straight from Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer, a source as plugged in as they come. Early in the offseason, the Browns, alongside the Steelers, picked up the phone and made serious inquiries about Olave. New Orleans, holding firm at the time, rebuffed those calls. But let's not forget, the Saints are quietly heading toward a rebuild whether they admit it or not. Their starting quarterback right now? Tyler Shaw. Let that sink in. Tyler Shaw is leading their depth chart. This is a franchise staring down the barrel of some tough decisions. But let's pull it back to Cleveland. If there's one thing we know about Andrew Berry, it's this: the man is a certified wide receiver trade addict. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Jeudy. He's done this dance before and he knows the steps. And if history is any indication, Berry doesn't give up after one phone call. Remember the Jeudy saga? That deal took over a year to come together after initial talks were shot down by Denver. The same pattern could very well play out with Olave. And let's be real. The Browns' current wide receiver room? It's underwhelming. Jeudy finished last season ranked 5th in receiving yards for the team, not exactly WR1 material when you look at the league's elite. Then you've got Mike Woods, who has barely eclipsed 100 yards in his entire career, sitting as your number 3 option. Deontay Johnson? Look, the guy couldn't stick with not one, but 2 playoff rosters last year. Forced his way out both times. You tell me how confident you feel about him being a long-term fit in Cleveland. Now imagine this, a wide receiver duo of Jeudy and Olave locked in for at least the next 3 to 4 years. Judy's beginning year 1 of a 3-year extension. You grab Olave, pick up his 5th-year option, maybe slap on a 2 or 3-year extension. You've suddenly transformed the passing attack into something lethal. Something that gives your quarterback, whoever ends up under center, a legitimate shot at success. Because let's be honest, there's only so much you can evaluate about a quarterback when they're throwing to guys who wouldn't crack the top 3 on most contending rosters. And speaking of quarterbacks, buckle up because this storyline gets even messier. Albert Breer didn't stop at trade rumors. He weighed in on the Browns' quarterback situation, and his prediction? Joe Flacco is the frontrunner to start Week 1. That's right, 40-year-old Joe Flacco. The same guy who was literally sitting on his couch before Cleveland called him last season. And look, he didn't just show up. He showed out. Flacco helped steer this team to the playoffs under impossible circumstances. But here's where it gets wild. Kenny Pickett, the former Steeler, is making noise in OTAs. Yeah, the same Kenny Pickett some of us never thought we'd see in orange and brown. He's reportedly getting a lot of the first-team reps during OTAs, but it's important to note, Kevin Stefanski isn't necessarily pushing Flacco full throttle right now. Why would he? It's May. This is the time to see what you've got in the younger guys, Pickett included, along with rookies like Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Here's the dilemma. Most NFL teams these days don't carry more than 2 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. Some even go with just 1 plus a practice squad guy. Deshaun Watson, for better or worse, isn't expected to start Week 1. So that leaves you with this jam. Do you keep Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett? Or does one have to go? Remember, Gabriel and Sanders aren't going anywhere. They're rookie investments. Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick. Sanders is seen as a future franchise piece. So what happens if Flacco clearly looks like the best option for Week 1, but Pickett is still better than both rookies? Are you really cutting Kenny Pickett because he's not Joe Flacco in August? You traded a player and a 5th-round pick for him. Is that really a sunk cost just because Flacco gives you the best short-term chance to win? On the flip side, do you ditch the 40-year-old who might give you 1 good year if Pickett proves serviceable? This isn't just a depth chart conversation. This could impact the locker room, the morale, and the future trajectory of the entire franchise. And don't even get me started on the trivia nobody in Cleveland wants to win. If the Browns start anyone not named Deshaun Watson in Week 1, they will join the Denver Broncos and Washington Commanders as the only teams with 8 different starting quarterbacks over the last 10 seasons. 8. Let that number marinate. 8. And trust me, no fan base wants to hear that stat about their team. But here we are. Huntington Bank Stadium is going to witness yet another new face under center when the Browns take on the Bengals. Whether it's Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, or Sanders, it's history repeating itself yet again in Cleveland. This whole situation, wide receiver trades, quarterback controversies, roster crunches, feels like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off in Berea. And Browns fans, I've got to ask you right now, should the Browns go all in for Chris Olave? Drop a Y4 yes or an N4 no down in the comments. And what's your take on this quarterback chaos? Should it be Flacco? Pickett? Roll the dice with a rookie? I need to hear what you think because this one could define the entire 2025 season. And let's not forget the Saints situation isn't just a side note, it's the core of why this trade rumor has legs. New Orleans is aging fast. Key players are on the wrong side of 30, and their current quarterback situation with Tyler Shaw under center isn't exactly inspiring confidence. If any franchise is primed to hit the reset button, it's them. And that's exactly where Andrew Berry might strike. Because let's be honest, you don't hold on to premium talent like Olave when the rest of your roster is screaming rebuild. Now picture it, Olave coming back home to Ohio. Buckeye fans already living and breathing Browns football on Sundays would lose their minds seeing one of their own in brown and orange. Combine that emotional pull with the cold, hard football logic of pairing him with Jeudy, and this isn't just a smart football move, it's a cultural moment for Cleveland. A statement that the front office is done settling for mediocrity and is ready to build something that lasts. But the front office isn't just dealing with trade phones, they're dealing with quarterback headaches every single day. If you're Kevin Stefanski, how do you even begin to pick? Do you trust Flacco's experience, knowing exactly what you're going to get, steady, safe, maybe unspectacular but playoff capable? Or do you gamble on the upside of Kenny Pickett, someone younger, more mobile, but far from proven? And what about the rookies? Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders aren't just camp arms, they're serious investments. Gabriel, a third-rounder, isn't getting cut. Sanders? A prospect with real potential to become the face of the franchise in a few years. There's no way the Browns move off either of them without seeing it through. So this is where you come in. Browns fans, how do you see this playing out? Are you all in on Chris Olave? And who will be your guy under center when the Bengals come to town in Week 1? Flacco? Pickett? One of the rookies? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Go Browns!